we are ranking all of the Rocky and Creed movies in one bunch. This is Talk Punch. Thank you so much to both our audio podcast listeners and our YouTube viewers for joining us. I am Brody, joined by Tudong Dylan.
Hey, or yo.
And the Polly of this fight group.
And I was like, please don't make me Polly. Please don't make me Polly.
He's got one of the best lines out of all this series, and that's like, I see three of them out there, and he's like, hit the one in the middle.
Hit the one in the middle.
Line.
Oh, come on.
Hit the one in the middle. I'm like, yeah, hit the one in the middle.
I was between Mickey and Polly. I was like, we'll go.
All right. I guess I'll take it.
Well, if you like what you hear and you'd like more of us, we do have a Patreon where you can get exclusive content about topics that you will not hear on this main channel. Find more information about that on the description below. And if you haven't already, we'd love it if you subscribed and hit that notification bell so you can come back here every Wednesday to hang out with us, have some fun. Because rankings are always fun. Everybody likes ranking stuff, especially when you got a big franchise like Rocky with 9 things in it. We were talking Rocky. We said, let's rank them. Can we include Creed? Yes.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's a part of the Rocky franchise.
Mm-hmm.
We're including Creed. So we've got 9 to do. Let's just bring that up right now. So I know people probably know all this. This isn't like a normal ranking where it's a whole bunch of random things. So I'll go ahead and read them out. But it's going to be pretty obvious. But for our audio listeners, we've got Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa, Creed, Creed 2, and Creed 3. Just in case you weren't aware what was included in the Rocky franchise. At least Rocky Balboa got like a little different name. Like they didn't call it Rocky 6. It's just Rocky Balboa. But then they just went back to the number.
They didn't want that Rocky 5 stank on it. You know, gotta get kill the numerical system and just get it out of there. Spoiler alert.
So this one will be interesting. We all really enjoy the Rocky franchise. Dylan, you're probably the biggest Rocky fan. Maybe? Charlie,
that makes sense.
That?
I think so, yeah. Dylan actually boxed. He was a featherweight, a bantamweight.
I was some kind of weight. Math, once again, it's not my strong point, and especially when it comes to my own weight. And after I'd get hit and knocked to the floor, I was not seeing numbers. I was seeing... I forgot what I saw. I saw something, maybe stars.
This is a fun fact, for those of you who don't know, he got the nickname Tudong because they used to have to ring the bell twice. To get him to stop punching.
No.
Get a second dong out there. Floor. He won't stop hitting the guy.
Like... That would be nice. It was more like we got to peel him off the canvas here. I never actually competed professionally. Just before anybody says anything. And yes, peeled off the floor after 2 dongs.
All right. So if you've never joined us for one of our rankings, what we're going to do, we're going to shuffle these all up. We're going to put them in a pile. They're going to come out one at a time. And we're going to drop them into a spot just because it's there. Doesn't mean it's locked there. It can always be found. Out and we argue about this stuff because I'm not sure how you guys' personal list. I kind of have my personal list. We will see how that compares to you guys and what we wind up for the official Talk Punch ranking. So let's go ahead and shuffle them up. Oop, that was easy. All right.
But then you start with the Rocky 3.
I don't choose that. It's just
I know. It's just a harder. It's a harder one to place. That's all.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Rocky 3.
Now I'm going to go ahead and say I would put this in the upper tier only because of a couple of things.
Agree.
One, what?
I agree.
I mean, he finally was facing somebody who was not like an equal, like he was stronger than Rocky. And Rocky was scared of him. And they were like, this isn't going to be a fight of finesse. These are brawlers right here. And that's exactly what happened. Rocky changed his style completely. And Apollo Creed, who was not a villain, but antagonist, and he came in like Mickey passed away. Apollo came in. I love the Apollo character. First of all, let me just say, I love Carl Weathers. May he rest in peace. But he was a fantastic Apollo, and this movie actually showed. I mean, hey, in Rocky 2, he had a lot of growth as well. I liked his complex character. His character was not just one note, especially in this one right here. He was helping Rocky and becoming his friend, and he's still like, you're gonna owe me. And he still did. I absolutely love this movie. This is top tier. I could see this at number 3, maybe 4.
Oh. Charlie, how about you?
I do have this in my top 5. I would have it maybe around that 4 or 5 slot as well. I do like it. I do think it kind of was different enough with some of the cliches that we kind of established in the first 2 that kind of makes it stand out as you're kind of watching through them. Especially if you're binging them, it's a lot of common themes. I did kind of like this, and it's got Hulk Hogan in it and Mr. T.
It's got Thunder Lips. And Mr. T.
By the way,
awesome.
This movie had set 2 precedents. This is the last time Rocky Balboa fought and for the title, or even defending the title. After this, he neither defends the title nor does he have the title. This is the last time he's like the champ. And also, this is the only time, I'm fairly certain, that they actually don't go all the way at the final fight. He beats Clubber Lang in 2-3 rounds, and that's it. He usually has to go the distance, and he didn't do that either. So another reason why I really think this is like one of the better ones.
I was thinking maybe like higher than that. But
wow, okay.
Where were you thinking?
Where do you have this one, bro?
Like 1 or 2.
1 or 2?
Wow.
I really like this one. Like,
it's a good one.
Because you get it's sort of like when you're watching like a superhero movie. You got to get through like the origin story, and then like the sequel, like he's coming in on top. Rocky's coming in as the champ, right? We've got Clubber Lang, Mr. T, who I think is an awesome villain. And we get Rocky working with Apollo. We have the amazing montage of them training together on the beach. We have Thunder Lips, like, which is great. We've got.
He was so great. He even said there, "I don't hate the man, but I pity the fool." I train alone and I fight alone. I was just like, "Oh, this guy's a beast." I love it.
So clearly, though, this is not you guys' number 1. If you guys wanted to, somebody mentioned 3.
I mentioned 3.
Let's put it 3. It's Rocky 3. Let's put it 3.
Rocky 3. Okay.
And hey, you never know, bro. You could talk us into moving it up.
True.
Just keep saying Thunder Lips, and like every time you say it, it makes me want to move it higher.
Thunder Lips is great.
All right, 2.
Okay.
Let's put it 2.
Next up, we have Creed.
Now, this is the only one Ryan Coogler directed, and Ryan Coogler, as far as I am concerned, is an absolute genius. Every single time he goes into anything, a franchise, whatever it is, he just makes it beautiful. I was flabbergasted. When I saw this, I was like, all right, Ryan Coogler, all right, good. And I was like, Michael B. Jordan, all right, it's interesting. I like these people so far. And it turned out great. I cannot believe Stallone didn't win the Best Supporting Oscar for this. It's preposterous. That's one of the many reasons I don't exactly hold whatever they do very important. He should have won that Best Supporting Actor because he was excellent in this movie. Also in the top, I'd say in the top 5.
I like this one a lot, and so this might be like my number 2.
Wow.
So I really like it a lot.
It's a really good one.
This one
Sorry,
has
go ahead,
that single shot, and whether it's actually a single shot, whether they did some.
No, they really did. If you're talking about the fight, yeah. That's a single shot.
We go from Stallone giving him a pep talk into his entrance through the entire fight in an uncut shot. I was watching it and I was just like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Like that.
He hits Creed and Creed has a cut out of nowhere. I'm like, what?
Yeah. it's one of like the best single shots I think I've seen because there's so much to it.
And yet this is your number 7?
No, this was my number 4.
Really?
And that's only because this does have the like origin story part of it where we get a lot of the backstory. He's kind of like moving up. I enjoy just kind of coming in when they're like.
So look, I agree with you 100% about the superhero origin story fatigue, and not really getting to see superheroes like at the height of their powers because that's irritating. But this is a sports movie, bro, and there are few formulas that are more enjoyable in a sports movie than having the underdog overcome insurmountable odds and then show off the heights of their powers by defeating the person that, in this case, they are boxing, or the unbeatable team that they are playing in some kind of angels in the outfield scenario where there are literal angels lifting you to victory. This is sports, man. We want to see the underdog take down the David beat the Goliath. It's what makes March Madness fun. It's, we root for the underdogs. I love a good underdog story. And he's going to win. And it's still, and by the way, bro, if you had to show one of these to your kids, which one are you picking? You going to start them out with 1976's Rocky? Or are you going to show them Creed?
I mean, I already showed my daughter Rocky, like Rocky 1, 2, and 3.
Probably
she was
start as a different one. If I had to start my kids with the first Rocky, I would start it. I really liked them. I'd like them to see Creed.
Why wouldn't you start with Rocky, bro? Why don't you show it to them in order?
The first Rocky's more of a drama than anything.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's a
great movie.
My kids aren't gonna like it. My kids aren't gonna like it, but it's a good movie.
No, my kids won't like it either.
My kid liked it.
If I can turn them into art snobs, like vintage movies. I was thinking about this when we were doing this list, like how we're continuously moving away from like just movies that aren't meant to be nostalgic. They're just made in a time like 1976 is before any of us were even born. Like there's just stuff in these movies that's so unrelatable. Like my kids have never seen a payphone. I mean, just like we're just getting so far removed from like this like ancient technology of like weirdly curved televisions that like it's just there's just stuff in these movies that like, the kids will be like, what is that? Is that what's a rotary phone, Dad? What do you even mean it's a rotary phone? No, you do this and it spins. I don't know.
Well, speaking of far removed, where do we want to put Creed? 4?
I think I'm losing this argument. So I guess 4 because
wait. Why
you said like 7.
Why don't we put Rocky 3 at 4 and put Creed at 3 for now?
Because Brody hated Creed. Because Creed was Brody's 5th or 6th.
Hate Creed. No, it was not 6. I told you it was my number 4. I'm okay with it going to 3. It's a really good movie.
Okay. All right.
Next up, Rocky 4.
We are not going to agree on a number 1.
Number 1, baby. If I had to show my kids, if I had to start my kids with one Rocky movie, it would be Rocky.
I did not know that people online hate this movie. They hate it.
You hate this movie.
Why? They hate it. People hate it.
Tudong?
I get what Charlie's saying, and I have seen and heard the vitriol, and I understand there are montages all over the place. There's montage, and then we get a part 2 for the montage at the last montage, and then we also in the fight there is also another probably couple of montages. I'm gonna say this. Do I understand what they're saying? Yes, I get it. Are they? It's one of those things, like, for me at least, this movie is not about the technical kinds of things when it comes to movie making. For me, this connects to me emotionally, and I mean shockingly. And even Stallone was like, I regret killing off like Apollo. They killed off Apollo.
Big mistake.
And I was just like, what? But not only that, like when he is training, when he is in the actual like fight at the end, he's going to win. He's not even going. They're not even doing it for the. He's not defending the title. But when he's in there and some of these things happen, when he hits him, when Rocky hits Drago with that one hook, and Drago's like, "What?" And they're like, he's got the Russians cut." And then he comes back to his corner, and he's like, "You see, Tony it was so good." He's like, "You see, you cut him, you hurt him. You see, he's not a machine, he's a man." And I was like, "That's right. Come on, Rocky." I was like, "That is fantastic." And when he's sitting there in the last round and he is hitting away at him, and Adrian's like, "You're gonna do it," I was just like, "He is gonna do it." She said it. I can't believe this. His acting is unbelievable. Everybody's acting in this. When you see Drago in there and he's angry and he lifts the guy into the air, when you see the different things with Rocky, even during the fight, he sits there and he's like, "Come on," and then he gets punched and he's like, "Come on, fight." And I was just like, "What? Did he just get hit?" And he was saying he got hit. He went to the hospital.
So where we want to drop this for now?
Let's put it at 2, if not 1. Put it at 2. Charlie, what do you think? Broad said 2, 1. What do you think? What do you say?
I had this at 5 in my personal list.
Okay.
Look,
okay.
I enjoy it. It is like dripping. It is dripping with like 1980s nostalgia.
Absolutely.
So like if you have any kind of like desire to just see what life was like in 1985 with like the height of the Russia fears and why movies like the Wolverines Dawn, Rescue Dawn, whatever that was, Red Dawn, stuff like that getting made, and the montages are fun. They're cheesy. It has fantastic music. It is one of my favorite ending fights. So I could easily look. This is the top tier is really hard for me because the distance or gap between the movies is very small. And so I if you guys put it at 2, it's not like I'm not gonna be mad. It's a good movie. I enjoy it. It is like one of the more, you're right. It's like one of the easier watches of these. Like it's an easy watch. You put it on, and just kind of half pay attention to it and just get psyched up at the right moments. And it does have like some of that good this be a good like movie to watch while you're working out or something. Like get the blood pumping. Why I want to flip some tires. Let's go.
Let me recommend
for no reason.
Let me recommend this. What if we and Rocky 4 at 3 for now?
Wait, this is your 1, 2, and this is Brody's 1. So let's just put it at 2. This 2's good. Put it at 2. That's fine. Okay.
This also has an amazing
controversial choice here. I mean, controversial ranking.
So I love it. Does it have to be number 1?
I do too.
It does?
I use it at number 1.
Does it have to be? No. Did I put it at number 1? Yes. Am I going to leave it there? Absolutely.
What did we say?
We said 2. Nobody said 1.
Sorry.
Although I have no idea what will be 1 in that case. I'm like, I don't know.
We're gonna fight over 1.
I think I know what number 1's.
You do?
Yeah, I think I do.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, I do too.
Rocky 5.
I think it's an easy 9.
Number 9.
Easy
number 1. Number 1. Yeah, easy 9. No discussion. Horrible movie. Should we hate watch that sometime? On like one of our live watches.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
It's crazy that like the last they're like, okay, so Rocky has brain damage. Let's have the end fight just be like a bare knuckle street fight as the last.
Let's really hurt him.
It's like
they were going to kill him off. Originally, he was going to have him go into like an ambulance and die. Just die. Yeah, terrible. All right, Now Creed 2 is interesting for me because when I first watched it, I was underwhelmed. But then I watched it several times more, and my appreciation for it grew.
I like Creed 2.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it.
Brody, you like this better than Creed 1, don't you?
I don't know. As I was trying to I was going back and forth. I like that we're coming in. He's like he's a boxer, right? We're just getting into the thick of it, and then we get to revisit the Drago stuff. And is it just like Rocky 4, it's pretty close. He trains, like we're just revisiting the Drago stuff. And so I was cool with that because I love Rocky 4.
This is a bottom tier for me, but not in a way that it has. Just I feel like we should just take 9 and just cut it off.
Oh, it's not
just
that bad.
just eliminate it. So because like whatever we put 8, and this should not be 8, but whatever we put 8 does not deserve to be next to Rocky 5 because Rocky 5 is so bad. And although I think everything else is much better, but I put this like maybe like 6, 7 for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could see this at 6 also. 6, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking like 5, but that's not that far off.
We could see where it goes because I could see it moving up to 5, but I'm comfortable starting off at 6.
Okay, Rocky Balboa.
I'm gonna be the high man on this one. I love Rocky Balboa. Come on now.
I really loved it too. I really loved Rocky Balboa. I mean, this movie, I thought that I was getting choked up with Rocky 4. This movie had me choking up the entire time. When he's in the final fight and he looks over, and there's the clip of Adrian from Rocky 4, and she's like looking down, I was just like, go Rocky, I'm sorry. The whole time I'm like, everybody's dead. At least Adrian said that's Bay's well be everybody. I was just like, oh my gosh. That was an ice cube right to the heart right there. I like this movie a lot, and I love the last fight. When he goes back in there and he goes into training, and Duke is once again, let's build some hurting bombs. I was like, this is an excellent movie. Excellent, and I could see this at number 1. Completely number 1.
Oh, wow.
There's there is excellent acting in this. Excellent acting. Charlie, go ahead.
Where would you put it?
I had this one at 3. So I'd be happy to have this number 1. I could be talked into it being it's got to be top 5 for me.
Yeah,
I agree.
But
with
like
top 5.
It was like such an look. A lot of this list is not. I'm trying not to overthink like the quality of the movie and trying to just think more of like how it made me feel. But like after Rocky 5, like you're just so convinced that you're never seeing the Rocky character again.
Yeah.
And that this franchise is dead and it died in a horrible way. And then to have the character come back and get like that swan song and just have that like emotional, an emotional tour de force. Stallone bringing the maximum Stallone. Hey yo! It was unexpected, and then when it came out, I was like, "Oh, this can't be good." Like just when I heard they were making it, I was like, "This is gonna be a cash grab. It's gonna be terrible." And then I saw it, and I was like, "Ah!" and it kind of like it paved the way for the Creed movie. So like, God bless it. It was a good movie.
Okay, where do
this
we want
one?
to put it?
By the way, the fight scenes, they actually made them a lot more realistic. They made the punching sounds like before. They had like shotgun blasts and all sorts of preposterous stuff when punches landed. But it was actual like things, and they filmed it like they did like in a sports show. I see it at top 5. Where would you put it? Like if it was at 3, would you move Rocky 4 and Creed up, or would you move Creed and Rocky 3 down?
I'm my second guessing Creed. Should Creed be higher? Should Creed be higher than Rocky 4? I don't know now. I'm struggling. Somebody just tell me what to do. I don't know.
Well, we can revisit that question because the question right now is where do we put Rocky Balboa?
I don't know. I don't know.
If we put it at 3, I mean that would mean we either move Rocky 4 and Creed up, or Creed and Rocky 3 down.
I was struggling with Rocky Balboa because I was like, I remember liking it, but do I
loved it.
Like in head to head, where does it fall in my list? And I was having a really hard time. So
I feel like here's what I want you to do right now, bro. I want you to move Rocky 3 to 5. I want you to drop Rocky Balboa at 4. And then I want to have the hard conversation about one of these next few films that's going to determine our top 5. Yeah. And here it is, by no coincidence. Because I thought we would all be kind of unanimously agreeing that this was the number 1, and apparently you guys
was going to be number 1.
You guys hate the original Rocky film, and I didn't see that coming. So talk me into why Rocky should be so low. You guys hate the 1976 classic.
I don't hate
Rocky.
Well,
I don't hate it.
I hate the character completely.
All right, well, expand.
I think it's kind of slow. I think it's kind of slow. It's definitely more of a drama. I think as it went, we got more sporty movie, blockbustery type stuff.
Sure.
It's definitely a different feel than the other movies. You know, like Rocky to Rocky 4 are like different types of
Oh yeah, I absolutely.
But like Rocky 1 is like a classic movie. It's what started the entire franchise.
Yeah.
I figured this would be number 1.
I don't know. I mean, like, I think this is a very well made movie. I do agree with Brody that it does get a little bit slow. I like the fact, I've always liked when it's an independent thing and they had to struggle. I mean, they had to do all sorts of things with the extras to make it look like there were people watching, and that's the kind of thing I really do appreciate. But I mean, it's one of those things where, like, for example, like in The Godfather, I liked it, and then they went to the next one and it just felt too slick for me. Whereas the other Rockies, they didn't suddenly feel too slick until like maybe like 4, definitely 5. But I mean, they all had different sorts of like benefits, and like, yeah, you feel something for this character, but it and people watch this and then they say that this is the one because of, hey, you see him and he's an underdog and all this. He's an underdog in most of these, and it's one of those things where. But I mean, like, we know this character so much now that it's hard for me to kind of go back and not really know the character. And is he the same character? He kind of is, but he's evolved. It's like in a TV show. We've known this character for so long. The character has evolved in our mind. Now, do we appreciate the fact of how it was when he first started, or do we appreciate how he's evolved, or do we do both? I don't know. That's why a lot of these movies that are not even number 1, these movies that are up here are very far away from number 1. Like number 5 is the closest to number 1 there is. That's several movies away. And I mean, it's, for me, it's my appreciation of the movies. Like I appreciate them for a lot of different things, and I love the fact that there is all of the baggage that comes with this character, with this series. I love that, and you get that with the later movies. So it's tough. I mean, this is a good movie, but does it have the emotional stuff as the others?
For me, like, this is just one that I'm not as interested in revisiting. If I want to watch a Rocky movie, I'll watch one of the later ones.
Yeah, me too.
You guys are all making fantastic points. I mean, this literally won Best Picture in 1977. I mean, this was like the winner of Best Picture. This accomplished something that if you drop me into a timeline, and I had no idea that this movie existed, and you just showed me Sylvester Stallone movies nonstop, starting at Rocky 2, and then you said, "Has this man ever been nominated for an Academy Award for his acting?" I would lose all of my money, saying there's absolutely no way that Stallone has ever been nominated for a Best Actor, and he was, and Burgess Meredith was nominated. Like this movie was like showered with accolades when it came out. It was like just a phenomenon. And look, obviously before our time, this movie came out before any of us were around. So like I get it, but is it the most entertaining? Absolutely not. Do we get more emotionally attached to the character as he evolves through the movie series? Absolutely. So I don't know how to rank this one. I really don't, because I think it's absolutely. If you ask me what if you ask me what the best movie is of the Rockies, this is unequivocally the best movie. This is the best, well-made story, clean, tight, good story, best acted, best directed, just start to finish, best screenplay, just like top. This is before all the cliches and redundant plot lines. But you're right. It is more of a drama. It's not as entertaining. It is definitely more of like, hey, you want to sit down and watch a drama from 1976? Happens to have some boxing in it. Yeah, it's a tough sell. So if you guys tell me this is your 5, I probably won't fight you too much. If you tell me this is like your 3, your 1, your 4, your 2, we're good. But it's got to be in the top. It's got to be in the top 5.
I agree with that. I agree.
I do too. I agree as well. I do. Now the question is, okay. So are we saying like we would put it at Broad? Are we saying we would put it at 4?
I don't know where to put it. This one is
now,
so
if we
hard.
put it in 4, does that mean Rocky Balboa, Creed, and Rocky 4 go up, and then Rocky 3 goes to 6, or are we talking something else?
I'm gonna say this right now. This is the hardest ranking we have ever done.
Yeah, I agree.
We have done a lot of these rankings. This one is the hardest.
I thought this would be so easy too when you suggested when it got suggested. I was like, "Oh, this will be a piece of cake." This is so much harder than the other ones. We usually have such random stuff on here.
Okay, how about this? For now, let's drop this at number 1.
What?
Wow. I mean, it is empty.
I mean, it is empty. Okay, all right, put it at number 1.
Well,
Dylan,
where were you saying? You were saying number 4? Who was saying number 4?
Well, I mean, I heard Charlie say if it was in the top 5, so I immediately looked at number 4.
So I thought, what would your number 1 be, Dylan? Would we move Rocky Balboa to 1 then, or are we moving Rocky 4 to 1? I love Creed, but can we have a Creed be the best Rocky movie of all time, or does it have to be a Rocky movie? Does it have to have Rocky in the title to be the best Rocky movie?
No, okay, look, it should be a Rocky movie because, yeah, you're right. I mean, I do agree with that. The question is, I mean, okay, I think that Rocky Balboa is the superior movie to Rocky 4.
Okay. So should we move Rocky Balboa to number 1?
That would have been my number 1. I've got to be completely honest. I mean, the way I'm looking at it, it has all of the baggage there is. It's the 6th movie. And it has all of that stuff. Every single thing culminating. No more wife. He now has like his own restaurant. We see him in his twilight years, and that's what he is doing. Which is really I mean, I don't know. You fall in love with this character, and I mean, like you fall in love with the character as he's going. Like I said, the baggage this character has. And it culminates in Rocky Balboa. It really does. He's got the monsters in the basement. Now they're gone. I mean, it's an unbelievable step for this character. And it could have been so humiliating. And the fact that it worked, not just in the movie, but as a movie, he thought because they went and they were doing a real, like they were shooting when a real boxing match was like kind of happening. And Stallone thought, I mean, like these people who are like now not really extras, they're actually like watcher, patron, whatever they are. He's like, they're going to boo me right out of here. This is going to be so humiliating. And they gave him a thunderous applause, more than any of the other fighters there, and he was flabbergasted. It's that kind of stuff. It's tough to overlook.
I'm okay with Rocky Balboa. I think that's fine.
Feels weird. I like it. It feels a little weird. I thought we would get Rocky or Rocky. All right, yeah, this is good. All right, it's fine. Okay. So we're putting Rocky at 4.
What if Rocky? Oh, see, now it's these 2, 3, 4. I'm okay with Rocky 3 being number 5.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, and we have Rocky. And I'm meaning like spaces too, because we have Rocky 4, Creed, and Rocky. And how do those line up? Spots 2, 3, 4.
I mean, that works for me because I still think that Creed was the better put together movie. I mean, Ryan Coogler, I think, put together a better movie, like as it is. And you also, once again, you get that baggage. It's tough, that baggage. This is what you get when you have like this longer running series and consistency with the character. He goes through all these different things.
So we're saying that the original Rocky is number 4.
For now, yeah, it looks like that's what we're saying.
I mean, when you say it like that, it sounds hurtful. But
I don't think
it does sound kind of hurtful. I don't know.
It doesn't sound hurtful. Just because it's the first does not always mean it's the best.
I mean, None of the other ones got nominated for Best Picture or won Best Picture. But Academy Awards, fugazi.
Okay, so next up we have Creed 3.
Now that's easily is a number 8 for me.
That's a number 8.
Absolutely. I was exceedingly disappointed by this movie. Very disappointed. I feel like they hit the fast forward button on this movie. There were so many things they could have delved in and they like talked about. They sit there and they're like, "Hey, we're going to watch not Michael B. Jordan. We're going to watch his friend spar the heavyweight champion." And the very first time when they introduce that, you know what they do? They cut away to something else completely. We never find out how that first match even how it was. I was really looking forward to it. I'm not saying it's bad, but I am saying there were a lot of things that I thought that they were going to go with and run with, and they just kind of let it go. They should have had, Michael B. Jordan was directing. He should have had more confidence in himself.
Yep.
Charlie, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this was especially disappointing coming out of because I really loved Creed and I enjoyed Creed 2, and we did a reaction to this movie when it came out, and so I'm always like a little more heightenedly aware that at this point in my life, if I watch something and I know we're going to talk about it, that I'm just paying more attention to details and that I'm more likely to notice things that I might let slide if I was casually just watching something. But, when I'm intentively watching something, looking for things for us to talk about, it's not that I'm trying to nitpick, but it's just like when movies have holes, when there's, just inconsistencies, incongruities with like the storylines and characters, it just jumps out more because you're kind of just looking for things like I'm looking for reasons to love it. I'm looking for reasons not to love it. And so the movie provided plenty of reasons to be like, there's plenty of eye roll moments and I just missed opportunities, but it is like a full chasm from like Rocky 5. So like it may be 8 and maybe sitting next to Rocky 5, but we're on different levels here. This is like Aladdin and Aladdin 2 straight to Disney, like sitting next to each other on a shelf or something. It's like, all right.
It wasn't a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. It was no Rocky 5. But no. I'm nitpicking because I really wanted, expected, and thought there was going to be more to it. I really
Dylan, this was your most anticipated movie of 2023.
I couldn't. When I was watching it, I was just like, "Wait, what? Did I miss something just now?" I'm like, "Am I tired and I fell asleep? I don't recall falling asleep. Did I miss an entire scene?"
Hopefully they do another one and. Are they doing another? Yeah, there's another one in production, right?
Yeah. In production.
Hopefully,
I also thought that it was a little bit early in the Creed series for him to be like, "Oh, I'm retired," and he actually was retired. I get it if he was going to kind of retire, like Rocky said in Rocky 3, but it's just became heavyweight. They also really spanned the time, like he became heavyweight champion, and then next thing you know, he kind of quits, and I was like, that. It's a very short reign, but all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so last up, we have Rocky 2.
Now, I'll say this. I have a very soft spot in my heart for Rocky 2 because you get to know the character of Apollo Creed even more. And I will always love the scene where he's wearing, I think it's like a gold lame tracksuit, and he's reading hate mail and to his wife, and he's on a whole different. He's on the second floor of his house, and he's all like, "The fight was fake. You're a fake. Go kill yourself." I'm like, what? I don't know if it was his delivery, but it just seemed hilarious and completely over the top, and I couldn't take it seriously. I loved it. I love the fact that it deals with Rocky thinking "Hey, I don't need to do." Physical labor kind of jobs. I'm going to get another job, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't even read these cue cards." And the things he was doing, it made sense. This is where the baggage started coming in. So I have a very high opinion for this one, even though I know that the story is not as inspiring as the first Rocky.
Yeah.
I would put
this is an interesting one.
Yeah,
it's because it's kind of a bridge, right? Because like you were talking about how the character in Rocky 1 is so different, and then so this is kind of like that bridge to Rocky 3 where we start to get that kind of more familiar, almost action hero Rocky.
Sure.
So it's kind of an interesting in between because it's trying to stay faithful to that, but it's like also you can see it evolving to something new. Like Carl, you had me at Carl Weathers. He's fantastic. This is fine for me. It's 6 or 7. It's a good movie, but it's definitely a bottom 4.
Yeah. Rocky calls himself a Kentucky Fried Idiot. So, I mean, for me, that's number 6 written all over it.
So we're dropping Creed 2 to number 7?
Well, what do you think, bro? Where do you have Rocky 2?
Yeah.
I have Rocky 2. It's lower on my list. It's definitely bottom 4.
What do you mean? That is bottom 4. Number 6 is the bottom 4.
I know. I'm stating my point.
You had it at 7, right, bro?
Of them, huh?
You had it at 7, right? Because you were very quick to say 8 for Creed 3, so I can't imagine.
I had it at for 6.
Oh, really?
Wait, so you're arguing against it being number 6, but you had it number 6?
I'm not arguing against it being number 6. You asked me what.
I had this one very low. I had it at the exact same number that you guys are suggesting.
6? Yeah, there we go.
I was about to move it to number 6, and you guys like, Brody, what do you think? So then I'm giving my thoughts, and I'm saying the bottom 4, which is.
I'm processing out loud because I was expecting you to say lower, and I was going to tease you because you was going to be like 1 spot difference, and then it turned out it was the same spot. So.
But so we're dropping Creed 2 to number 7, right?
Where did you have Creed 2? Was it just that you had Creed 2 so much higher on your list? Was that the
I had
disconnect?
Creed 2, I think, at number 5.
Okay. Which one from the top did you not have? Was it the Rocky Balboa? Did you have that at 6 or 7? I mean, what was your 7?
Yeah,
I have Rocky Balboa because I couldn't remember it. I couldn't remember much about it.
It was so much newer, bro. You just watched it the other day.
We can't have it 1. You had it 7. We can't have it 1.
Oh.
What kind of composite list are we doing?
I was telling you, Rocky Balboa was the one I was having a really hard time with. And so I started putting my list together, and then I ran out of time, and I'm like, all right, I'll put Rocky Balboa right there. It's just where I had a blank spot on my list.
Put Rocky 2 in at 6 then.
I remember liking Rocky Balboa. I just don't remember a lot about it.
All right, we can't have it be number 1 then. So
why not?
We want Rocky because you barely remember it.
At number 7, you can't put it at we can't put it at number 1.
This is our collective ranking here.
Yeah,
it can be at number 2 or put it at number 2.
I put my list together as we were doing our pre-production stuff because Charlie said that he did it. So then I was just trying to do it really fast. I didn't have time to really think about my list. I'm cool with Rocky
when you
Balboa
think about
being
it,
number 1.
I don't know, Charlie. Do you accept that?
I know we're probably running along, so probably it's fine to accept it. But I like Balboa in the 1 slot. I'm fine with Rocky 4 in the 1 slot. I'm fine with Rocky in the 1 slot. I'm fine with Creed in the 2 slot. I could probably be talked into Creed being 1 too. It's just weird not having the title Rocky on the top of our Rocky champion list. I feel like
I agree.
I don't know. But that is probably the one that I would. That's the one I'm going to show my kids first. So
Rocky Balboa,
Creed. I think Creed will be the one. But maybe I should show them Balboa first. Maybe that's a good call.
I'm looking at my list, and Rocky Balboa should definitely be above Rocky 2 and Creed. I did really like Creed. No,
what did you just say?
I'm saying that Rocky Balboa, because when I originally threw my list together, just on a whim, I had Rocky Balboa for 7, but it was below Rocky 2 and Creed 2. I think that Rocky Balboa should be above Rocky.
I remember I showed this to my wife. I didn't know if she's seen any of these Rockies, so I put Rocky Balboa on, and she hadn't seen any of the Rockies, and she thought that they were stupid, mindless, ridiculous violence. And I was like, "Those are the Rambo movies." And she saw this, and she was like, "Rocky Balboa is so sweet. I'm gonna cry over here. He's crying," and it was because of
First Blood is great.
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about a character evolution from the first to the sequel.
Yeah. No,
let's make some art. Now let's blow up the whole world.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that one took a turn. No, I'm good with this. I think Rocky 3 might have been a little bit higher. But like as we're talking through this, like the things that we're talking about also make sense. Right. Like and we are talking about. It. So it's I'm good with this
Rocket 3 is
being
good.
in being our list. The official Talk Punch rankings of the Rocky franchise. We did go a little bit growth. So we should
This topic
probably
deserves
wrap.
it.
But no, I'm good with this. If you guys are good with this, I'm good with it.
I'm good with this. And for the patrons, if you guys are interested, we could do a watch along of every single Rocky and Creed movie with reactions afterwards.
Charlie,
Boom.
that's 9 movies.
9 movies
Beautiful.
in 9 days. Oh, we'll do the 999 challenge, Brody. 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, 9 movies.
What?
There's a 999 challenge. You watch a baseball game for 9 innings, you eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers in the 9 innings. So instead, for each Rocky movie we watch, we have to eat 9 hot dogs and drink 9 beers while we watch the Rocky movies. Who's in?
Wow. Yeah, we'd have to be Patreon in that case. I'm wondering at which beer would I start to throw up these hot dogs. But I love the idea of us watching all of them. Come on, we got to do it, bro.
Come on, bro.
I would love to watch all of them.
We'll let the patrons decide. Decide. We can argue about this off air. So, hey, you know who the champion really is? You guys. And so thank you for sticking it out. This was a hard ranking to do.
Hard. This is so
would love to know what you all are thinking and how you have them ranked. I'm pretty sure that people will hate our rankings. you let us know. Be nicer than Rocky 2, where they go kill yourself. Your list sucks.
Oh,
the line that launched 1,000 internet trolls back in Rocky 2. Help us out here. Give us the real rankings, and we'll see you next time, champs.
Yo, 8.
9 movies, Brody.